Today's video, Jynxzi and I rate some things overrated or underrated. Down in the comments, let me know if you want me to collab with another content creator and do another video like this in the future, and comment down below some things you want us to rate. Let's go right into the video. Very first thing is E2SMOOTH.
Overrated or underrated?
Yeah.
Well, what would you classify as overrated? Like, do you mean
like
skill level overrated or skill level underrated?
Okay, well, let me answer it first. I'm gonna say E2SMOOTH as a character, because I kind of look at E2SMOOTH as a character, is probably like overrated because of how he perceives himself and how people kind of perceive him. Because I really think like he's a really horrible person, and like, dude, anytime I see E2 come in my chat, bro, people are like talking so much shit to him. I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, bro,
yeah.
So like, I would say all that's overrated. But as a person, I think he's a really nice guy. Like, he's a really nice kid.
I think E2SMOOTH gets a disgusting amount of hate because of the fact that there's a lot of the hate starts on TikTok and it transfers into Twitch and YouTube, but that's where a majority of the hate that he gets is. And I think it's because of the fact that there's a lot of people that are like Plat 3 and Plat 2 and Plat 1 that might be better than him, and they're pissed that he hits Champ or Diamond, and that pisses them off. So they're like, dude, fuck this guy, even though he is a person with emotions. You know what I mean? Yeah,
and people don't realize like his mental health and all that, because like, you know, it's Siege.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, that's why I'm saying he's overrated, just for that point. But I think if E2SMOOTH, I've been trying to tell him, get a solo queue account, man. Like, prove that you want to become better, and like, you know, but he's bringing a lot of content, like you said before we started recording, to Siege. So
yeah, that would be a solo queue account would be insane to watch. That would be fun. I'd watch that for sure.
Yeah. So how are you rating him?
I would say, yeah, I would agree with you on overrated. Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Next one is Sophia/Ash recoil changes.
Sophia's is overrated. On PC, it's overrated. On console, it's rated. It's not underrated or overrated. Like, Sophia is destroyed on console. Unless you're using a mouse and keyboard on console or a Cronus, which gives you no recoil. Yeah. You cannot use that gun. It is horrible, especially at long range. It's actually not as bad. The R4C is doable. I would say the R4C is kind of it's an overrated nerf for sure. The R4C is doable. The M7 is just impossible in my opinion.
Okay, so let me rephrase that then, because those are good answers. Because I just realized like you're right in terms of like both those guns. How would you rate the recoil, like them nerfing recoil, or that's how they're nerfing operators?
Oh, I don't like it at all. Like, I think they've noticed that it's like a really frag heavy meta in the last few seasons, and they're trying to steer away from that by nerfing Ash, nerfing Sophia. But now, like, people will always find ops to play, like Ayana. Like, there will always be ops to play, and I think that's part of what keeps the game fun. It's not everybody wants to get 5 people, party up, and just like sweat callouts and stuff. Especially not on console. Like, some people just like running around and shooting shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. Personally, I think it's overrated, because I don't like the point that, you know, recoil in general is like their main go-to. It should be utility based, and like every operator should have their own unique recoil, especially for console, because like it seems like it's like just like pull down. Same with PC, actually, you're just pulling down for most recoil, besides maybe Elda Scorpion. Now Sophia, people are now crutching on an LMG with 150 rounds with no recoil, and it's like it's a really AIDS meta at the moment. Is R6 extraction from what you've seen?
It doesn't interest me at all. I would say insanely overrated. I play Siege because it's a competitive shooter. Like, I don't play those modes at all. Like, a lot of people in my chat would ask me like, dude, play extraction. I'm like, dude, no, like, I'm not gonna play that mode. Like, if I was into that, I would be playing like zombies or something, you know what I mean? Like, I think they should steer away from, but I do think as a community though, those modes keep the game fresh. Like, I actually like those modes. I just don't play them, you know what I mean? I think any type of fresh content, I'm all for that.
Yeah. You know, I was in the same boat as you in terms of just like that mindset with extraction, but I actually talked to a game developer, so I'm gonna rate it underrated, just for this sheer fact. He told me that even though for us rainbowsixsiege like players that were more into the competitive nature, if you think about it, they're trying to grasp a new audience. So like a lot of people play like COD Zombies, and they like game modes like that, like even Back 4 Blood, if you know what that is, and like old Left 4 Dead games. So if you think about it, we're kind of getting a little bit of a newer audience. I'm personally not a fan of what extraction looks like, and even like the new game modes, it just gets repetitive and boring. So I don't know how successful it will be, especially for a $70 game.
Yeah.
Next is a trading system in Siege.
So define trading system. Like I could trade a skin for a skin.
Okay, yeah, kind of like that. Or like, for example, if you know you pull a black ice, you already have, and your homie has renown or like some type of credits, you guys can like kind of trade, kind of like what Rocket League has.
Dude, that would be insane. Like I'm all for that because so many people get duplicate black ices or duplicate legendaries. That would be insane.
Yes.
Like everyone would have drip on every gun. That would be that's insanely underrated. Like I think that should be looked at a lot more.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I think the biggest thing is the lack of skins or the lack of viable skins we have in game for renown, because it wouldn't really make sense if they bring that in, because then like most of these skins that you need to be able to buy it with renown. But I would really like to see something like that. I don't know if you know anything about Rocket League, bro. They do it so well.
Yeah, no, I mean Rocket League's had a crazy community for years, so their cosmetics are insane.
Yeah, like they'll have like for example, like they'll have like say a black ice skin, but then they'll have it in a different color. Can you imagine like red black ice or like white black ice? Like they can do so many things with that. That would be so dope. Next one is Shachanka.
I'm gonna say he's underrated, but that's like a really iffy underrated. I think his plant denial, you kind of have to have like really good situational awareness and game sense to actually use Shachanka. I'd say in high ranks he's underrated. I never see him get brought at all. In low ranks, like I don't want to see a gold trying to deny plants with Shachanka like that. I do not want to see that.
Okay, I kind of understand that perspective. I'm gonna say underrated because I personally, if you know organ extension on like the elbow, I use instead of smoke, I bring Shachanka. And like just wasting a lot of time, you know, burning all that time is like so good. You can make all the rotates, lines of sight really quickly, and you have a shield now, so it's like a no-brainer.
I never even thought of that.
Dude,
that's actually
try it, bro.
Because you have 10 shots, right?
Yeah, like and they buffed it recently, so like you open up single wall and like it's so good.
How did they buff him? What do they do?
I think the duration of the fire and the way that the way it expands, don't quote me on that. I know kids in the comments are gonna like be like technical, but it's something like that. It's really good though. Let's try it out.
Yeah, I might have to try that actually.
Next one is laser sights.
So underrated. It's crazy how, dude, I'm so glad you asked that. People will tell me like I'm brain dead for using lasers. I don't use lasers on every gun. It kind of depends on how I'm playing. Like if I'm roaming, I'm not going to use lasers because there is a high probability somebody sees my laser and then I get pre-fired. If you're using shotguns, bring a laser on every shotgun because people already know where you are. You're right in front of them. If you're using any type of secondary, bring lasers on that. And I just think if you're anchoring in general, lasers are fine. Like I think lasers are so underrated.
What are the exact advantage of it? It's like tighter hip spread.
It's no scope accuracy is like way more accurate. So like that, like I said, like I shit on people with shotguns with lasers because you can just no scope people and it's so accurate. It's like you're scoped in.
Okay, yeah, I actually agree. Underrated. Yeah. Next is Favela in ranked.
So underrated. People, these questions are amazing. So people are like, we need new content. We need new content. We need new content. We bring Favela? Yep. Damn, I'm banning it every time. Dude, what? Like, I hate Favela, but I have a smile on my face playing a new map, literally.
Bro, I feel like it's a lot of the kids that haven't played Siege. I don't know how long you've been playing Siege, but for a lot of the kids that haven't been playing since year 1, year 2, year 3, when map bans weren't a thing, when you got a map, bro, you had to play it.
Yeah.
So, like, I enjoy, like, just learning new maps, even if I'm lost. Like, I faced Kickstarter like a week ago, man, and like I got pub stomped. Like they had strats, they knew what walls to open. I was like, damn, bro. But like I missed that of Siege. And another thing is, the main reason I think it's underrated, low-key Bikini Body said something on Twitter, which actually I agreed with, which is like a surprise. But he said adding Favela into ranked now allows other maps to be opened up and picked. So like say you get theme park, skyscraper, and then fucking Favela. Like you usually don't see those maps. They're always banned, so you have to play one of them. So
exactly. And I feel like a lot of people are just tired of playing Oregon like over and over and over again. Bro. And yeah, I started back in Velvet Shell, and where you could do secure area in ranked. You could play ranked as a level 0 if you had like a level 20. If you had, I think it was if you had a level 20 who hosted the lobby, you could play ranked as a level 0 with recruit, and that was insane. Yeah. But you would get a map and you had to play it. I missed that.
Yeah, you were forced to actually learn it. Now you have kids that like crutch like 2 maps, bro. Like every time I solo queue, I'm playing like Villa in Oregon, man. It's so boring. Frost as an operator.
So you remember my old opinion. I'm pretty sure that's why you asked me that.
Yep.
I changed my mind about Frost. She's underrated for sure. Her gun, well, actually, now that they took away the 1.5, she got a little bit worse.
Yep.
But her ability, okay, she has a shotgun, you can make rotations, she has a shield or an indestructible cam. If you have really good map knowledge and you know the strats that people like to run, like, dude, I still run into frost mats to this day, and I play this game 4 hours a day. Like, I still hit frost mats.
Yeah, no.
So I think she's underrated.
Yeah, I'm gonna say she's underrated. Same with like Alibi. I kind of looked at those operators in a little ignorant sense until I started talking to like really higher ranked players, and it's like when it comes down to utility, man, you have a shield, you have a shotgun, you can do so much, especially frost mats in high elo. Same with Capcan, by the way. These operators had the highest success rate with frost mats and EDDs because nobody's gonna expect these random ass like EDDs and frost mats. So
yeah.
I don't know who you know. The next person I'm gonna mention, I don't know if you know who he is. His name's Bad, the content creator.
Bad. I swear he's YouTuber, right?
Yeah, he does like TikToks. He does like strats.
No, I mean, I've seen his name before, but I don't know him.
Okay.
If you know what I mean.
I wish you saw him, man. I'm gonna say underrated because like I've been watching some of his stuff, and like if you watch any of his content, he does a really good job of explaining like very simple strats for like, you know, plat players and like even diamond players that don't know basic strats. And he does like really in-depth like stick figure drawings on the map, and it's just such a good flow of
interesting
video.
I'll check him out.
Check him out. He's fire. Last is solo queuing.
Underrated. I think solo queuing is essential for improvement. Like, if you're in gold, you shouldn't be worried about getting to plat 3. Like, you'll get to plat eventually. Just worry about improving. Like, solo queuing, you don't have a team that can carry you. You have to totally rely on yourself. It's a great way to pick up on sound cues. Now, I don't think you should just solo queue. I think it should be 50% solo queuing, 50% 5 stacking. That way you can work on communication, call outs, whatever. And in solo queuing, you improve your situational awareness and skill level. A lot of people are afraid to solo queue, and it stunts their growth as a player.
I agree with that. I would say solo queuing is underrated as well. I personally made a solo queue account for like YouTube, but it actually made me so much better like getting aggressive and understanding like, you know, how to just take gunfights, because I'd really crutch on like just, you know, call outs and communication and all of that, and like not being a good individual mechanical player. And it's something I'm still working on, but solo queuing is definitely the way. I keep telling E2, and I'm gonna keep saying this, he needs a fucking solo queue. Like,
I know.
He just told me, bro, like, he's like, bro, I get stream sniped and then I'm gonna get TK'd. I'm like, bro, just make a Smurf account, stream on a Smurf Twitch account, and then upload VODs. Easy content, man. People would love to see that. Especially, can you imagine if E2 will actually get to like a 1.0 KD as a champ?
Yeah, that would be insane. We might have to wait a year on that,
Yeah,
but that
like,
would be insane.
Like, I did a full VOD review.
That would be a good way to start.
Yeah, I don't know. I did a full VOD review, and I'm like, bro, like, you just need to do all the things I said, and you're gonna be easily better.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, if you don't know Jynxzi, which is like fucking insane, man's average is like what, 1.5k on Twitch?
Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah, you're almost at 50k on YouTube. How close are you?
Yeah, I'm at like 49k. I think I'm at 48.9.
You're catching up to my ass. Go sub
yeah,
though,
I might
yo.
catch you.
You might surpass me. That's gonna be nuts, man. But thank you so much for doing this video, Jynxzi.
Of course. You're my favorite person to collab with, literally.
Thank you, Jynxzi. Hey, thank you, man.